These encounters all share a chilling pattern: brief glimpses, unexplained sounds, and something watching from just beyond the trees. From a towering figure standing silently behind a shed to glowing eyes emerging from deep forest shadows, the moments feel too real to ignore. And when something even circles a campsite without being seen, what's actually out there when the camera stops rolling? Based on the individual who uploaded the footage, the driver did not notice the enormous figure right away because his focus was on the burn pile rather than his surroundings. It wasn't until later, while reviewing the dash cam recording, that he saw a large, dark, hair-covered figure standing upright behind a shed and blending in with the nearby trees. To help viewers identify it more clearly, the uploader slowed the video down. The figure, which noticeably rises above the height of the shed, is estimated to be at least 8 feet tall, given that the shed itself stands around 6 feet. A closer look suggests the fur is mostly deep black, gradually transitioning into a lighter brown tone across the midsection. One of the most striking aspects of the clip is how motionless the figure remains, almost as if it is attempting to blend into its surroundings and avoid detection. Although this may have worked in real time, the dash cam still managed to capture its silhouette. The lower frame rate prevents the image from appearing fully sharp, yet the footage still shows something many viewers find intriguing. The exact filming location has never been verified, though many suspect it was captured somewhere in a remote part of Canada. That leaves one lingering question: is this an authentic sighting of Bigfoot, or just another well-crafted hoax? Let us know what you think. The Voyager Overland YouTube channel centers on the adventurous side of Jeep travel off-road journeys, camping, and exploring the outdoors. Their videos showcase scenic trails, stunning landscapes, and the campsites they come across along the way. Earlier this summer, the creator of the channel set out on a family trip with his wife, his grandfather, and his grandchildren to the Ruby Falls Mountains in Alberta.
When I asked them where they wanted to go, they both said the same thing. They said, Ruby Falls! So I guess that's where we're heading.
When the group discussed where to go, everyone chose the same place, Ruby Falls, so that became their destination. After arriving, they located a suitable spot, parked their vehicle, set up a small campsite, and spent time taking in the waterfall before heading to another area and settling in once again. At this second location, the creator positioned a trail camera near their campsite, hoping to capture local wildlife activity. Instead, the camera recorded something far more unsettling. In the footage, a humanoid figure is visible moving through the campsite during the night. The figure appears to walk in a natural manner, occasionally pausing as if observing its surroundings. What makes the clip particularly unusual is that at certain moments the figure seems partially transparent, possibly due to motion blur, limited infrared lighting, or a combination of both. An individual experienced with trail cameras in Bigfoot-related investigations mentioned that they had never encountered anything quite like this before. To analyze the footage more closely, filters were used to enhance visibility, and the image was enlarged by 150%. Even with these adjustments, the figure remained strange and difficult to interpret. Encounters like this are incredibly rare, serving as a reminder that unexpected situations can arise for anyone spending time in remote wilderness areas. A homeowner started noticing disturbing sounds coming from outside and later found strange footprints spread across the property.
All right, we're now in the southwestern corner of the property. Allegedly, this is where the guy said he had the most activity. That remains to be seen. A little spooky, I guess. It's mostly just quiet. Apparently they're building a subdivision over that way. Huh. Oh. What the hell was that? Ooh. Something walking. Oh, shh. Okay. All right. Okay.
Feeling uneasy, they reached out to someone to examine the area more thoroughly. The investigation brought them to the southwestern edge of the land, where earlier activity had been reported. At first, the surroundings appeared calm and almost unnaturally quiet, with nothing standing out aside from signs of construction nearby for a developing subdivision. Then, suddenly, something changed in the distance. From within the trees, a large figure emerged. It stood tall and wide, its body covered in dark fur, with glowing red eyes fixed directly on the observer. The moment was shocking, far from anything normally expected on private land. The remaining question is whether this footage was staged for attention online, or if the camera truly captured something unexplained moving through the property. On September 2, 2023, Finn Brenton and a friend chose to camp in Freetown State Forest, Massachusetts, a location known for dark legends and rumors tied to occult activity. Since camping was not allowed, they discreetly pitched their tent without drawing attention. As night settled in, unusual sounds started echoing through the forest. The noises gradually moved closer, and fear kept them inside the tent, unable to rest. When morning arrived, they expected some relief with daylight, but the strange sounds continued.
What is that?
What is making that sound?
It sounds like a Okay, it got a little bit creepier because now we have this on top, so you really cannot see out of the tent. Bro, why does it sound like someone is crying? I'm out. I don't know what to do because I'm not doing that.
And became even more unsettling. The mood shifted from uneasy to truly frightening. The forest seemed filled with cries and unexplained noises that left them frozen in fear. Curiosity quickly gave way to panic. They hurriedly packed up their gear, left the area, and promised never to come back. What caused the disturbances that night is still unknown, but the experience left them deeply shaken and certain that something in those woods cannot be explained. While hiking near Duffield, Virginia, a Reddit user discovered a strange footprint imprinted into a rock. Although they didn't place any object next to it for scale, they estimated the print to measure between 12 and 14 inches in length. The track had an unusual shape, larger than expected, and clearly defined on the stone surface. Even more puzzling, there were no additional prints nearby, only that single massive impression embedded in the rock. In March, a woman living near Red Gut Bay, Ontario, noticed something unusual moving through the forest behind her home. The area is remote, making anything out of the ordinary difficult to overlook. She quickly took out her phone and started recording. When the footage was later examined by the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch team, they stabilized the clip, allowing the figure to be seen more clearly, a tall, dark shape with one arm that appeared unusually long. Residents in the region, already aware of past reports of similar sightings, were quick to suggest that the mysterious figure might be Bigfoot. Wanting to avoid attention, the woman chose to stay anonymous. A video appeared on Facebook reportedly showing a possible Bigfoot sighting during a camping trip in Alaska's boreal forest. In the clip, the person recording remains low and hidden, while capturing a large dark figure moving in the distance. Figure is visible for only a few moments before vanishing back into the trees, leaving more questions than answers behind. This footage was recorded by a trail camera placed in Washington State on December 25, 2009. It shows a large dark figure appearing to sit on its knees near a campsite. Food and snacks had been left out in an effort to attract Sasquatch. The creature's posture is unusual. Its head sits low with no visible neck, and its body appears massive with a wide back. Unlike a bear, the figure seems to have a more human-like back and shoulders. One especially odd detail is a noticeable groove running down the center of its back, dividing the two sides of its muscles, something not typically seen on a bear. So, the question remains, what exactly was sitting beside that picnic table? In June 2015, a group of hikers set out on what they believed would be a typical weekend camping trip, unaware that one night in those woods would stay with them forever.
Minchia, rifacciamo un bello spiegato ora di chi vi posso dire. Oh, ma che cos'è, ragazzi? Ma che dammi c'è cosa? Oh, ecco, un Bigfoot! Un Bigfoot! Ti ho capito, grazie da bene! Guarda, no, scappa! E qui nudo, dai cavalli! Guarda, occhio, prendetelo! Sto scappando! Sto scappando! Oh, no, è scappato!
During the darkness, one of them recorded the quiet forest when a dark figure suddenly moved quickly between the trees. The footage is grainy but unsettling, and the low quality makes it impossible to identify what was captured. Whether it was an animal, a person, or something else entirely remains uncertain, but the fear in that moment was real. So, what do you think crossed their path that night? A man recorded footage of a distant mountain peak, but when he zoomed in, something unsettling appeared near the top.
Kind of creepy. It's like a person's silhouette up in the clouds. I'm sorry. If it was your mountain, I'm sorry I broke it.
Like a person's silhouette up in the clouds.
A tall, dark silhouette stood still against the clouds, shaped like a person, but noticeably larger and broader. Some viewers compared it to the legendary Bigfoot, questioning who or what would remain exposed in the cold wind at that height. Without knowing the exact location, it's impossible to verify. So, what do you think was really standing there? In 2007, a trail camera in northwest Pennsylvania captured 3 unusual images. The first showed bear cubs, but minutes later, 2 additional photos revealed a crouched ape-like figure sniffing the ground. Experts examined its limb proportions and posture, saying it appeared more primate than bear. Officials dismissed it as a mangy bear, but many disagreed. Known as Jacob's photos, the images sparked one of wildlife research's biggest debates, and the mysterious creature remains unexplained. In 2021, a strange video surfaced from British Columbia showing a massive dark figure moving smoothly through the woods. The person filming, Harley Hoffman, captured what appeared to be visible muscle movement and natural motion that many felt looked too realistic to be a costume. 5 years later, the footage appeared on YouTube, shared by his brother Hutch Hoffman. Shortly after, both vanished from public view, leaving behind one of the most mysterious Bigfoot clips ever recorded. One morning, a tall figure emerged from the forest and stopped between 2 wooden poles, standing completely still.
Oh my god, look at it! It's just standing there. Bigfoot. Oh my god.
When viewers compared its height to the poles and nearby trees, it appeared much taller than an average person. No one was able to confirm what it was, but the eerie stillness drew intense attention. So, what do you think that figure really was? In 2012, a group of students near Pocatello were filming a school project when their camera captured a tall, dark figure moving among the trees. It had broad shoulders and moved slowly into the woods, unlike any typical hiker. The clip spread quickly after Jeff Meldrum from Idaho State University said its proportions matched Bigfoot reports, and it later appeared on Finding Bigfoot. No one proved it was fake or claimed responsibility. So, what do you think those students actually captured? On October 13, 2025, a video recorded by tourists during a jungle tour in the Amazon rainforest captured a startling moment.
Do you see that? Wait, hold on.
I'm zooming.
Listen.
Huge.
Keep the camera on it. Oh, it's moving. It's going deeper.
As the camera zoomed in, a massive figure appeared moving deeper into the jungle with movements that looked too human to be an ape before disappearing into the trees. When the clip was shared online, some dismissed it as fake, while others believed it might be evidence of an unknown species. For centuries, Amazon tribes have spoken of the mapinguari, a large red-haired creature said to roam the deep forest, with hunters reporting strange footprints and eerie howls. So could this footage be connected to that legend? In a quiet forest, a group of hikers came across a massive rock resting on top of a broken tree, as if it had been hurled with tremendous force. There were no nearby roads or cliffs to explain how it got there, and the tree trunk was split, cleanly suggesting something heavy had fallen from above. Locals believe it could be the work of Bigfoot, often said to throw rocks and break trees to mark territory. Still, no clear explanation exists, so what do you think caused it? The Sasquatch Outpost channel shared a video reportedly recorded with night vision in Lost Creek Wilderness on February 16, 2019, around 1 a.m. It begins with a silent forest until a dark head with two glowing eyes appears from behind a tree, staring directly into the camera. The next morning, the filmer Jim returned and found only a fallen log where the face had been nothing that could reflect infrared light. So what was watching from the darkness? A man reviewing footage from his trail camera deep in the forest noticed a strange figure he couldn't immediately identify. It appeared broad and heavy, sitting low with its head down, and didn't clearly match any known animal or person from the area. Some believed the tall frame and thick outline resembled Bigfoot, while others suggested it could be someone wearing bulky winter clothing. Even so, the unfamiliar shape remains difficult to explain. Jenny and Kelly discovered large footprints near a swamp during a trip close to Marsh Peak, each shaped like an oversized human foot. On a later visit, Duke and Kelly came across similar tracks again. They never claimed it was Bigfoot, but the size and shape were difficult to ignore. While reviewing their footage, they noticed a faint figure appearing in a still image, seemingly present in the video as well. So with all these clues combined, was it real? While going through his trail camera footage, a man noticed something unusual. At first, the video shows a black bear nothing out of the ordinary. Then, a much larger animal appears beside it, making the bear look unexpectedly small. The creature has thick, drooping fur and a heavy rounded build almost resembling a yak, sometimes described as a hairy cattle or grunting ox. But the behavior doesn't make sense. Bears don't usually follow animals like that, which suggests it could be a misidentified species, a strange angle, or something else entirely. So, what do you think the larger creature really was? Deep in Iowa's wilderness, two hunters positioned high in a tree stand noticed movement below.
Oh shit, this is not good. Not good. What the
A massive, black-furred figure moved through the undergrowth with long arms, a heavy build, and an almost human-like gait, while low growls echoed through the trees. Some viewers dismiss it as a hoax, while others believe it was real, especially since Iowa has recorded over 70 similar encounters dating back to the 1970s. So, was this another misidentification or part of a much larger pattern? A video from Russia is said to show an alleged sighting of the legendary Yeti stepping out from behind a tree. A large figure comes into view towering and covered in white fur, nearly blending into the snowy landscape. Its movement isn't like a bear, and it doesn't appear to be one either. However, the extremely poor quality of the footage brings uncertainty. Is this real proof, a misidentified animal, or just a visual illusion caused by distance and blur? A family traveling through the Meek Cabin Mountains discovered strange tracks that initially resembled human footprints, but were significantly larger than usual. The man who found them explained that his family had seen similar prints in the area before, and his sister even claimed she once encountered Bigfoot herself, an experience so unsettling she refuses to talk about it. With the region widely recognized as a Bigfoot hotspot, it leaves an open question: could there be some truth behind these repeated sightings? In the Sayan Mountains, a hiker named Jeannie Lomakin recorded a strange figure moving along a riverbank. The form looked tall and hunched, completely covered in hair, and moved in a way that didn't match typical human motion. Around the same period, hunters near Salakar discovered large footprints deep in the snow, far bigger than a person's, which suddenly changed direction and disappeared into the forest. Many believe both incidents suggest the Almasty Russia's version of Bigfoot, but could there be another explanation? A home security camera in Texas recorded a tall figure moving behind a backyard fence in East Texas. Online, some viewers thought it showed a Bigfoot-like presence, while others argued it was simply a person whose shadow appeared elongated due to the lighting. No clear evidence has surfaced, but the homeowner insisted it didn't resemble any neighbor. So, was it just a lighting illusion or something else passing through? A hiker in the Wallowa Mountains, about 2 miles outside Joseph, near the top of the Wallowa Lake Tramway, paused to take in the view when he noticed movement among the trees. At first, he assumed it was another hiker, but then he spotted a tall, dark, hairy figure standing partly concealed behind a tree, watching him. Frozen in fear, he took a photo and quickly headed back down the trail. Many believed the image could be evidence of Bigfoot, a creature long rumored to roam Oregon's wilderness. So what do you think he actually saw? A married couple traveled into the Appalachian Mountains, hoping to film the mysterious drones reported in the area, but their trip quickly took an unexpected turn. A chilling scream suddenly echoed through the trees, loud, sharp, and eerily human-like. The sound left them questioning whether someone was truly in danger or if a wild animal was producing an unusually human-sounding cry. Xander, a seasoned camper, set out alone on a trip deep into the forest. He built a simple tarp shelter, cooked a small steak over the fire, and spent the night unwinding under the stars while watching distant flashes of lightning. But a few hours later, everything changed without warning. Faint, human-like cries carried through the woods, nothing like an animal or the wind. The sounds gradually became louder and closer, and by morning, he packed his gear and left. To this day, he still doesn't know what was out there that night. At a national park in Washington, a group of tourists were walking near their cabin at night, unaware they were being watched. In the darkness, a pair of glowing eyes stared at them with an unsettling intensity. Strangely, the eyes didn't look like those of any ordinary animal. What do you think it was? Share your thoughts in the comments. In 2018, a video emerged claiming to show the elusive Honey Island swamp monster. The footage was reportedly recorded by Harlan Ford, a retired air traffic controller deep in the Louisiana bayou. Locals described the creature as standing over 7 feet tall, covered in dark gray hair, and emitting a strong, decaying smell. Its tracks are unusual, webbed like an alligator's yet shaped like a human's, before it disappears into the swamp mist, leaving only fear and speculation behind. While hiking along the Appalachian Trail, a woman went through something truly unsettling. As she remained completely still, a deep, disturbing growl echoed through the forest, and she still can't explain what she heard. Even more strange, despite not moving, the sound of leaves crunching continued around her.
Oh my God.
The audio even appears as though it might have been added later, sparking debate over whether she captured something real or staged the moment for attention. One night, a man looked out his window and noticed something unusual standing along the tree line.
Just happened to look out, and I seen the black figure standing in the woods. It creeped me out. I thought maybe it was some person, but the more I looked at it, the more I realized that it was a lot bigger than a normal person would be. And I could see that it had like beady eyes. There were no white parts to the eye. It was just solid black, and it wasn't blinking or anything. It was just staring me down.
Seeing this, instantly, I tell myself, we're looking at a Bigfoot.
They've frequented the house almost every night since then, in some way or another. They're very close to me at all times now. They show up right after the sun goes down, and they leave right as the sun's coming up.
At first, he thought it might be a person, but the longer he watched, the more he realized the figure was much larger than any normal human. Its eyes appeared completely black, with no visible whites, and it never blinked, just stared back at him in silence. The sight quickly convinced him he was looking at a Bigfoot. According to him, similar figures began appearing around his property almost every night afterward, lingering nearby until shortly after sunrise. He claimed they always seemed to be close once darkness covered the area. He managed to record the creature multiple times, but never from close enough to capture clear detail. Whenever he tried to approach it, the figure quickly pulled back and disappeared into the woods, never allowing him to get a better look before vanishing again. In 2020, a highway camera in Washington captured a large, upright figure moving through the snow near a tree line. Its size and the way it walked aligned with classic descriptions of Bigfoot. Around the same time, locals reported seeing unusual creatures at night, adding to the intrigue of the footage. With no follow-up investigation carried out, the video remains mysterious and unexplained. A man was walking through the woods at dusk when he noticed a pair of glowing eyes staring at him from behind some bushes. While many animals reflect light at night, the size, position, and steady gaze suggested something larger and more deliberate than typical wildlife. Whether it was just a nocturnal animal or something more unusual remains unknown. In the mountains near Marshall, North Carolina, a neighbor stepped outside to film an eclipse, but ended up capturing something far more unusual. Sound didn't match any bird they recognized, and its call stood out clearly from the rest of the forest. Online people debated it, some suspected Bigfoot, while others thought it sounded more like a gibbon. This footage, recorded in Czechoslovakia in 2015, shows a man hiking through the forest. As he moved deeper in, he started hearing a strange sound, something like an animal cry, yet not quite a howl, bark, or growl. From the noise alone, it was clear whatever made it was large. Instead of leaving, he headed toward it and found broken branches along with massive, deep footprints shaped like oversized human feet, suggesting something extremely heavy. As the sound grew closer, he made the wise decision to end his hike. When the video was shared, theories ranged from dogman and Bigfoot to a man-eating troll, while others pointed to the wind, though, that didn't explain the tracks. In the end, he was fortunate to leave before encountering whatever made the noise. Argentina, a farmer spotted something moving across his otherwise empty fields and began recording. The figure walked upright and appeared covered in fur, unlike any known local wildlife. With no nearby zoos, the idea of an escaped animal seemed unlikely. After he shared the footage online, debate quickly followed, and some in the American paranormal community identified it as Bigfoot, even though Argentina has no prior reports. How it ended up there remains unknown. Bear and Brendan spent 2 full days deep in the Appalachian mountains searching for the legendary Bigfoot and Mothman. As they moved deeper into the dense forest, they came across several abandoned bunkers, concealed beneath layers of thick undergrowth remnants of structures long left behind. Woods stayed eerily silent until a sudden unsettling noise broke the stillness.
Possible. Oh, shh. Do you hear that? Over here. Yeah. What? What are you doing? Did you just...
Hell yeah.
What happened?
We were walking and somebody else sounded like was walking towards us.
Really?
Something cracked, yeah.
Man, I'm gonna have to take my hoodie down because I can't hear as good.
Yeah, dude, that's what I heard. Like how that stick just cracked?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened up here.
This is the bunker. Right there's the bunker. There's the hill. Okay.
Ooh,
What?
Bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You hear that?
By the bunker?
Yeah, another snap behind it.
Okay, shh. Well, because I think we could find the path there, but I almost don't like turning my back on whatever's over here then, if you think something's here. Okay, just keep our ears open.
Suggesting that something large was moving nearby. They paused to listen, hearing another sharp crack, this time closer, as if something heavy had stepped on a branch just out of sight. The 2 men grew increasingly cautious, aware that something seemed to be circling them, remaining just beyond view.
What is that sound? Listen. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Does it sound like a ton of wings?
Sounds like a dragonfly's wings flapping real fast.
But there was like a whole herd of them or something. Like this whole, like that whole patch right there. I still hear it.
Me too.
It's getting louder.
It's getting louder. I don't like it.
That is a strange frickin' sound, man. And it gets louder. Okay, start making your way back. I don't know what that is, but it's taking up a lot.
The unusual sound spread across a nearby section of forest, growing louder, as if whatever was producing it was moving closer. Uneasy, they slowly began backing away, careful not to turn their backs on the area. The noise continued to build, carrying an unnatural weight as though displacing a surprising amount of air for something unseen. Despite trying twice to track the source, they never managed to locate any creature or confirm what had been following them. With daylight fading and the forest becoming increasingly oppressive, they decided it was safest to head back. In the end, they returned to their vehicle without capturing a clear sighting or finding any real answers, left only with the lingering sense that something had been watching them from the shadows. Anne, driving through an area known for Sasquatch activity, noticed something unusual: a tree sharply bent and wedged behind another. On its own, it might not seem significant, but since the region has a long history of Bigfoot reports, some believe the formation could have meaning. One side argues that only Bigfoot could bend a tree like that, while others think it may have grown that way naturally. What do you think? Calm, snow-covered mountainside suddenly becomes unsettling when the camera shifts and reveals something unexpected: a tall, dark, hairy figure standing upright among the trees, matching classic Bigfoot descriptions. Reporters point out that the bright snow provides strong contrast, making it difficult to dismiss the figure as a shadow or fallen tree, and its clearly bipedal stance stands out. Winter sightings are uncommon, but often seen as more credible since harsh conditions make hoaxes less likely. The filmer's genuine reaction adds to the intrigue, though skeptics remain unconvinced. Opinion of this footage?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.